What's up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 23 of the Colorado Rockies Out of the Park Baseball 24 series. And we're here in 2031 looking to follow up on our World Series victory last year. And we're off to a great start 65-28. We lead the NL West by 15 games. And the next closest team in the NL. Well, standings. Is 54-39. So, yeah, pretty dominant first half of the season. We're here at the draft on July 11th. Astros 61-31, so they're pretty close. But besides that, no other team really coming close to those two. So, yeah, we'll do the draft in just a minute, but let's check in how everyone's doing. Usually I check in like beginning of June, but I don't know. I decided to cut forward a little bit, make this a shorter episode, potentially. So, I want to start first. Yeah, he does lead the team in WAR. Kason Cunningham. Unbelievable first half. I don't know when this ended. He had an insane hitting streak. Like, you wouldn't believe how good it was. Let me see if I can find him. Um, yeah, he had a 42 game hitting streak to begin the season. So, actually, I don't know if it was to begin the season. That was in, yeah, that would work out 6/12, so that was about 30 days ago. He's played in 85 games. So we made it to start the season, but, like right at the beginning of the year, he's been on fire, batting 369, and on pace for a ridiculous 8.3 WAR as our second baseman this season. So really happy with what he's given us. As you see, Zach Veen injury, he is back right now, but he has dealt with a ton of injuries this first half. Only played in 35 games so far. The first of those injuries was an oblique strain, missed 5 weeks. Wound up coming back about like 5.5 weeks later. And then almost like, I don't know, 3 weeks after that, he had a hamstring tendonitis, missed another three weeks. So he's dealt with some injuries. His ratings have dropped a little bit. I'm not concerned because he's still hitting when he's out there. But yeah, we've missed him a good amount. But let's jump to some of the other hitters. Connor Griffin's second on the team in WAR. 105 RBIs here, just ahead of the All-Star break. On pace for 183. It helps when there's a lot of guys in front of in front of him in the order that get on base. Like Churio's having an awesome year. He's on pace for 6.3 WAR. And of course, Cunningham, he was batting 400 through like the first third of the season. So that'll always help when you have guys like that out in front of them. And then, like George Wolkow, walking 13% of the time. I think he was my 3-hitter for a little bit. I kind of forgot where I was hitting him, but he's turned on the power. I was kind of like skeptical about this power like output. His max was 14 home runs in a season, but yeah, he's already matched that in the first half of this year. So very happy with that. Drew Romo's had a nice first half. A little above league average at the bat. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He wants a big extension, though. And we have Chilka here, who I'm comfortable starting. I'm getting him a taste of action here in the majors, and he's been good in it. So I assume he'll be my starting catcher next year. I'll probably move on from Romo. I don't think we can afford this. Well, we could, but, am I going to spend that kind of money on a really good defensive catcher, but, the bat, not really, incredible. So, as much as I'd love to keep him, I'm a huge fan of him, but he'll probably be on the move this offseason. Miguel Blyce is having a nice first half. Playing a good right field as well. So we've been happy with him. We went over Veen. Kind of went over Wolkow. He's been good. I wish he was a little bit better, but he's still only 25, so and he's started to become a good hitter this season. So we're happy with him. This is also all levels, I realized. Brian Betancourt has fallen off a bit this season. Still a good hitter, but um, not quite as good as he's been for the last. Even his first year was incredible. So, yeah, the last 4 seasons he hasn't been quite as good, but I still have hope he'll be a fine hitter down the stretch here. We kind of went over Chilcott. He's been good. I'd be comfortable starting him at catcher if we needed to. Wyatt Langford, who kind of made the team just because we wanted a righty bat. He's been awesome. A 118 WRC plus. He got off to an insanely hot start. Let's check out his. His April was insane. June was insane. May was good, and then July hasn't been great in 13 at bats, but still off to a really good start. As like our platoon outfielder, he was starting for a little bit when Veen was out. Coy James right now is my starting second baseman. He's been pretty good in 153 plate appearances, about league average at the bat. A little bit below with OPS plus, a little bit above WRC plus. He's a second base only guy. He hasn't been great there at all, but he's been good at the bat. JD Hawley, he's a former fifth round pick. We traded for him way back for kind of a bunch of nothing looking back at it. Yeah, I think we went over this trade. We got AJ Minter and Joe Wallace in this trade. That was a fleece. But Hawley's been good. In limited time. He's not exactly like starting for me or anything, but he's holding his own as a major league player. And Daniel Covett, been a bit disappointing. He's gotten plenty of playing time, in my opinion, but hasn't really turned that into much. But he's been okay overall. The pitching is where things have kind of fallen apart. It hasn't been a complete disaster, but we'll first jump into Christian Little. He's been a mild disaster. I mean, it's still early in the year. Like we're about a little more than halfway through. He's coming off a really good start, but he's given us a couple like these clunkers with a 2 inning pitch, 5 earned runs, 3.2, 5 earned runs. Then he'll follow that up with like these shutout performances, but like overall, it's been bad from him. I'm not gonna trade him, but where he's gonna have to figure it out here, where he's gonna be moved to the bullpen. McClanahan's been awesome for us, innings eater. He got hurt for a little bit in the season, finger blister and then another blister. So he's missed a few starts, but he's been mostly healthy and mostly very good. Ford Thompson not really hasn't followed up his Cy Young season like greatly, but he's been okay. 113 ERA plus. We'll take that, but we were hoping for a little bit more out of him. Chris Wood has been good. He's had a couple stinkers here to inflate his ERA, but he's been a good pitcher for us this season. Increased the K rate and dropped the walk rate. Really happy with that. Those home runs per 9 will probably drop. Hopefully back to his career average of 1. We would hope. And then Philpott's been really good as our fifth starter / I don't know. I guess he's not really our fifth starter. Christian Little's more pitched like that, but the rotation's been pretty healthy this season. Besides McClanahan missing a couple starts, Ryan Weld came in and pitched those 5 starts and has been pretty good this year. Out of that, I guess long reliever swingman role, Tanner Witt's been awesome out of the pen this season. Haven't given him any starts. I think I'm just going to roll with him as a reliever for now. I don't want to mess with anything and try to put him back in the rotation. Kevin Garcia has dropped the home run rate, which is good, but he's increased the walk rate. And he's been fine, but he's a guy where we might look to upgrade on at some point this season. Jose Alvarado, his ratings dropped a bit to begin the year. Got off to a horrible start. When I go back and look, I guess April he was fine, but May he was disastrous. Striking out just 3 guys per 9. In only 6 innings, but he's been much better June, July so far. So we're happy with him, but he's out of a setup role at the moment. He could move back, but I want to give Gary Rodriguez a shot. He's been awesome after getting off to a bit of a tough start his first couple appearances, but he's been lights out. Ochoa, not quite as good as he's been the last 2 years, but I still have hope. Again, that home run rate probably won't sustain at that number, I would hope. Cheville continues to be like one of the best relievers in baseball. I mean, all the dude has done since, I don't know, 2020. I guess the last 3 seasons, he's just been incredible. And even before that, like he was a good pitcher, but not like this. This is like a whole different level. And then Randy Rodriguez as our closer has been awesome. We tried him as a starter. I mean, it was okay. It went well the first season. Second season was not good, and I think he's just better as a reliever. So I'm going to roll with him in that role. No pun intended. I guess other guys who have made an appearance in the majors. Casillas pitched like an inning. Rayford's pitched a little bit. He's been okay. Zach Wattis has been up for a little bit. He was okay as well, but I think I sent them back down, and then I preferred to call up Hawley when the opportunity came to have an open roster spot. Alex Mooney, oh my god, I forgot to mention him. An insane start to the season. Look at his April. His April was like, I was like, oh my god, do we have an MVP candidate in our hands? And he's been good since then, but like not quite that level. I guess June he was actually quite good, but yeah, he's been awesome. He strained his oblique. How long ago was that? About 2 weeks ago. So he's out for a little bit, but it's good we have Cunningham there to pick up the slack at shortstop. This guy Lozoya was up for a couple of games. Didn't do much, but I didn't give much of an opportunity, quite frankly. Bednick still hasn't made it up to the majors. Toto is crushing. He crushed AA. He batted .403, 17 home runs in 47 games. I was like, okay, dude, like you're good. After struggling, spending 2 years in high A, just absolutely destroys AA and hitting really well in AAA here too. So we could have like a future, our future outfielder coming up at some point this season. To Brandon Wincourt got hurt. That sucks. He was up for a couple games as well. So that'll bring us here to the first-year player draft. I looked through the pool really briefly. This guy, Jeremy Swift, looks like one of those generational guys. But he's like the only real standout that I saw. So like we've seen a couple of drafts where like there was some like incredible standouts. I mean, this guy's a nice player, but Jeremy Swift's like, this dude can play in the majors right now and be like an all-star player. But yeah, that we'll go through the draft. Wow, that's a pick. Yeah, he's okay. He's a good player, but like $16 million bonus demand. Holy crap. Unbelievable. These drafts are like so illogical. I mean, yeah, these guys are good players, but like, dude, you have this guy sitting there. Like, Jeremy Swift has just about as much upside as these guys. Okay, that's not a bad pick. I would take Hugh D. Watson there. Chris Gibson. Unbelievable. I don't know what, I mean, we have like, yeah, okay. He falls to 11. That is outrageous. And what team drafted him? The Royals. The Royals have quite the talent on their hands. I mean, whatever. That's unfortunate we weren't picking higher in any of these drafts, but anyway, we will hop into our pick here at number 34. Wow. What the heck? Okay, so look through college guys first, as we do. Not play defense. I don't mind this guy. The home run power, age almost 22. I don't know if that's getting there. Oof, Aiden Croft. This is a nice player. 70 range. Really good gap power, which plays well in our stadium. And overall, like pretty well developed for a 22-year-old. Charlotte Hook, another nice player. Not quite the defensive guy that Croft is, and probably just about the same hitter. Sean Howe, not really a defender. Bobby Peters, not bad. I don't hate this guy, but we have some middle infield guys in our system already that are just as good. Jeff Word, this is a fascinating guy. I normally wouldn't go for these, you know, no power, no eye guys, but with that speed and in our ballpark, this is a fascinating fit. I would love to see how this guy would play on our team. And he's a good defender at third. Like, he'll stick there. Absolutely. Um, can't play anywhere else, really, besides first base, DH, but and I'm fascinated by Jeff Ward right here. So that might be the pick just out of like morbid curiosity to see how he plays in our ballpark. I mean, I think the home run power could get up there. It's just the eye is obviously an issue, but if he's batting 380 in our on our team, like that's an awesome player. CJ Duncombe. If we have like a comp pick, I don't know if we do. No, we don't. I don't think. Oh, Devin Geenan. This is a great high floor, like medium ceiling type of player. I would draft him any other draft, I think. So yeah, down here there's actually quite a bit of depth. Dan Lyon's a nice player. Yeah, I mean I like a lot of these guys here. Um, oh, Zaire Vector, this guy, awesome. Develop that. Can play some corner outfield. All right. Yeah, not as good at the defender as Word. I think I'm gonna go with Jeff Word. I'm so fascinated. I saw him before the draft started, and I was like, this guy would be cool in our ballpark. I just looked at it again. I haven't picked up the game in a couple of days, um, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him. So Jeff Word will be our first round pick. He's under slot as well, which is great. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but and CJ Duncombe is still there. That awesome glove and can play outfield. Yeah, I mean, he's 22, kind of a same profile as Word, but you know, this guy can play on our team right now. Janet, another great player, 22 years old. Maybe a little bit more well-rounded of a hitter, but he doesn't have quite the glove. Maybe we could look at some of these high school guys. Probably should have done that in the first round, but I mean, whatever. I was probably going to take take Word anyway. So many of these guys. This is like a much more common profile than it was in previous drafts. I think that's how these games usually go. Like that's always been the thing in OOTP. Like those guys will eventually like be so common to find. The thing about Word is he was such a good defender, and like you don't find that very often. Wow, Ernie Stern's a hell of a defender. Okay, so let's check out pitchers too. I probably should have done that in the first round as well, but whatever. Getting lazy here as the save goes on. OC Blake's not bad. I think Duncombe's probably the pick here. I like what he could develop into as like a really stable shortstop. Maybe what the heck's his name? Alex Mooney replacement. Or even like a center fielder in the future. So just because of his versatility and the pretty good upside, we're gonna go with Duncombe there. Okay, third round pick. We have 30 in the third. Yeah, Stamos is a reliever and a high school guy. Jeanette's still there. I mean, these are the guys I would have taken in the first round. I'm just gonna draft him because like that's too much to pass up. Billy Mosher is a 21-year-old. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna develop, but that's such an intriguing bat, and the defense is fine enough to play at catcher. Rick Connell. I feel like we have a ton of catching depth though in our system. I know you go for best player available, especially in the first couple of rounds, but at some point you have too much depth at these positions, and you just got to make a different decision. So, looking around here, I don't see too much I love. I actually like this guy quite a bit. The pitches are developed. The stuff and control aren't completely zeroed out as an 18-year-old, just freshly 18. Which I don't know if it's the same in real life. I know you get an extra year if they're 17 for like that to add them to the 40 man in the Rule 5. Um, that would suck if you missed it by 10 days. I'm not sure if it's a thing in Out of the Park, but that is a real thing in real MLB. Fastball, sinker, splitter, slider. A lot of pitches in the same velocity band, which, even though there's 4 pitches here, like these are all like, you know, within 2 velocity bands. So I'm not sure if I love that. I don't know if it makes a difference in this game, so I might pick him anyway. Yeah, I mean, nothing too. This guy's interesting. Damani Dokes. Damani Dokes. I love that name. He just looks like a ball player with the name and everything. And, if he's there next round, I'll take Damani. But who the heck was the pitcher I was looking at? His name was not Ernie. This guy. Yeah, we're going to go with him. A little bit overslap. That's cool because we went under the first couple picks. And let's see if that guy's still there. Yeah, Damani's still there. So let's take Damani. Under slot. Awesome. This guy's got a pretty high floor. See. Okay, I'll do the rest of the draft off camera since we are in the 6th round at this point. So we'll be back in just a second. All right, really quickly, we'll go through the rest of the draft. So we took this high schooler, Josh Patton, here in the 6th round. Like the pitch mix a lot for being a 3-pitch guy, and then, really good stuff, average movement, average control. We'll see what happens with him. Dart throw. I like this guy, Toke Honda. Really good control, and got a couple pitches here. He's not like the most impressive guy, but I thought it was an interesting build to see how this plays in Colorado if he ever makes the majors. Then we took more of a safe prospect here, Herlin Jenny. Really nice 6-pitch mix. We'll see. I mean, he's young. Marquise Pop's another guy. Kind of the same thing. This guy has 6 pitches as well. Jim Ham, more of a high floor reliever. He'll probably go straight to probably starting out in Double A, maybe High A. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. Then a bunch of dart throws for the next 15 rounds or so. So All Stars are announced in a couple days, so we'll go up to that and then go ahead and do what we do at that point. So we're coming off a nice sweep of the Dodgers, who are now well behind us, 24 games behind us in last place. We'll go to St. Louis, or we'll be in Colorado against St. Louis. Drew Romo, 5-hit day. Betancourt, 3 hits. Veen, 3 hits. Chris Wood, an awesome start. And then Rodriguez to close it out. Against St. Louis, we win 4-3. So we're on a nice little run here. White Langford, 2 hits, 2 ribbies. Chilcott, a couple hits. Philpott, really nice start, and bullpen does a good job to close it out. And last game, looking to sweep St. Louis and the mound, and we do 6-5. Miguel Bleis drives in all 6 of our runs on 2 home runs. That's 2 3-run shots. So yeah, that's all we needed, I guess. And then McClanahan, Rodriguez almost gave it up, and then Ochoa wins it for us. You know what? It looks like, wow, this is actually way more dramatic than I thought it was. So it was 5-3, and Miguel Bleis hit a walk-off 3-run home run against old friend Tyler Owens, former Rocky here. So cool way to end the first half of the season on a nice run. Oh my God! Wait, this is way more wins. This was 3, 6, 9, 12 wins in a row to end the first half, sweeping the Phillies, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and Cardinals on the way. And we will go here to the All-Star game. Check out the AL All-Stars if you're interested. Bubba Chandler having an insane first half of the season. A free agent after the year. Whoo! 28 years old. Where the heck did this guy come from? I've never seen him in the save. What the heck? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I mean, he's never been this good, but this is an insane player. Um, I would totally sign him. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll trade him after the season. Um, how is he only making $15 million? Also, how is he already a free agent? That makes no sense. I mean, he missed the whole season here in 2028, it looks like. Wonder what the heck was he doing that year? Sorry, I'm really invested in this now. So he must have, okay, so he must have got hurt end of 2027. Maybe he had like a setback. Oh, he just had a massive UCL tear. Um, that was in 2029. What happened in 2028? Oh my God, he tore his rotator cuff. Holy crap! So he's missed like more than 2 full seasons with various injuries, but now back for Las Vegas after, let's see, they traded him for this guy, decent player, Flora. If I knew this guy was on the block, I would have traded for him, but I mean, I could have offered a better package than that. I wonder if they'd be willing to trade him. I know he only has 40 stamina, but like, yeah, I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try again as we get closer. But to that long tangent, we'll keep going. I wonder how Tommy White's doing. So we passed on him this 2024 draft for Reinwald. So I've been interested in his career. He has been an awesome hitter throughout it. I mean, he's a first base only guy. I don't know. I still think I'd go back and do the Reinwald thing again. Okay, there's the AL, NL. Ford Thompson makes it. Apparently started in the game. I mean, he's had a decent year, but I don't think he's, starting the All-Star game good. Drew Romo makes it, a catcher. That's his second All-Star appearance. We have Casey Cunningham, obviously, although he just got hurt. That is so unfortunate. I hope it's not serious. How's Ethan Holiday? Oh, yeah, what a stud. I'm surprised. I know he's only played a couple of games. I'm surprised Mooney hasn't been an All-Star. Or wasn't an All-Star this year. Um, I guess Jordan Lawler's been insane. Yeah, okay. That explains it. And Ethan Holiday's been quite good. Churio makes it in center field, and Connor Griffin in right field. Both of those, actually, Alex Ramirez is starting in center. I don't think he deserves that over Churio or Elijah Green, quite frankly, but not my decision to make. So, yeah, we'll sim ahead here and back, around the trade deadline. My plans for that, I would love to upgrade the bullpen a little bit. We're gonna run with Christian Little as our starter. We have guys who can take over. I trust Reinwald to give us some quality starts if we need to move Little to the bullpen. Same with Witt and also Jaime Cooper, who's been down in AAA this season and probably ready to come up. Even if it's for just a little bullpen appearance. So, we have Armino Toto. He might come up and see some major league action at some point. This guy, Guadalupe Cordero, I like a lot. I want to get him some time in the majors. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much like we're pretty set. Like this team looks good going into the year here. But we'll sum up to end of July and come back in just a minute. So we just got probably the most devastating news that could have happened. The Casey Cunningham injury. tore his PCL, which is in his knee. Out 8 to 9 months. That will put him out for the rest of the season. Having one of the most incredible first halves you'll see out of a player, and it ends like that right before the All-Star break. And as a team, we'll have to find a way to replace him. I called up Trey Snyder, who has been sitting down in the minors for a little bit, has hit well this season. I'm going to give him a shot at short. He doesn't really have the range for it. He used to be at 65, now down to 60. And that really is going to test our middle infield depth until Mooney comes back in 3 weeks. So, maybe it's a good time to get some auditions to some guys. I wish the injury wasn't like. If Cunningham went out for like a month, I would be like, okay, that's fine. Like we'll give some guys an audition, see what these guys got, whatever. But yeah, that's just the most brutal news you can get for probably our best player here in the first half. So, as for like depth, I would like to call up Guadalupe Cordero. I think he could play a little second base if I needed him to. I'm actually gonna get him a little time down there right now here in the minors. Jonathan Blevins is here, former second round pick, having a nice year down in AAA. Tim Mariner, nice defender. Also having a decent year. Tyson Lewis has been in our minor league system for a little bit. But we did trade away a bit of our depth, and some guys are hurt. Like Brandon Windcore would be a guy I would call up. He's got some decent range in the infield, but he's out for 4 to 5 months. It's just a tough time for that to happen, basically. But this is before the trade deadline. We can look around for some deals. I don't know why the Phillies are trying to trade this guy, but they wanted way too much, obviously. Vlad Guerrero still, I think. Oh, so he's not waiving his, or he's not keeping his 10-5 rights. What are Judge? Yeah, okay. He has 10-5. Let's exercise that. Doval is a guy I would like to get in the bullpen. I think we can live with the middle infield that we have without Cunningham. We can go for Adele Amador, old friend of ours. But is that really an upgrade? I'm not sure. Jack Neto, much more of a corner guy. Luis Arise can even play infield anymore. Absolutely not. Bo Bichette? I mean, like, these are the type of guys we're going to go after. Honestly, Bo Bichette would be a decent player here. We could definitely pick him up. I'm gonna like keep my eye on him because this is probably a move I'll do. Just to have a veteran in the building, a guy who can hit for some average. This will probably play up a ton in our ballpark. But we'll give Snyder and I'm playing Snyder, Coy James, and Hawley quite a bit here in a rotation. So we'll give them a shot. I feel like even Wolkow could probably play a little bit second base. Honestly, Jackson Churio could play second base. He's got some infield ratings here. But I don't know. We'll see what happens here. We'll get Mooney back in 3 weeks. So that's good. And then, we'll sim ahead here and get back at the deadline and see what we'll do. All right, so we have our first trade of the offseason here. Camilo Doval, who I mentioned just briefly ago, or just before briefly, that I would be interested in him, and we'll end up making a trade work here. So it'll be Doval for Juan Lazoya, who has been crushing in AAA, and I gave him a couple of bats in the majors. He probably should have more. But, all he's done is hit here in the minors for me. So we got him in the offseason. This is this offseason. So he'll get a chance to hopefully play in New York, and we'll get a back-end reliever that we desperately need at this point. Because we had an injury. Tanner Witt tore his flexor tendon. Was having such a good season. And I was really excited for what he can give us out of the pen. He blew out his elbow. This is his second elbow injury. Tore his UCL back in 2029. And has had a ton of elbow injuries. So hopefully it's not the end for Witt on the team. But at this point, he's due for $5.5 million next year. I'm not sure. He will be back in time for opening day next year, so it's not like inconceivable I offer him a contract, but um, $5.5 million is a lot for a reliever. So that brings us to this point where we called up Grant Seelig. He'll now be off the roster. We'll call up Duvall, and he'll probably slot right into the seventh inning for us, I'd assume. And this bullpen looks a lot better than it did. We still got to figure out the Christian Little thing. He had two really nice starts in a row here, but then another stinker, 3 home runs. This is what he does to this point. So, Trey Snyder also was not hit. It's only been 13 at bats, but I'm getting a little nervous that we won't be able to pick up the slack. Coy James has cooled down. Judy Hawley hasn't hit. So, that Bo Bichette trade that we were kind of looking at, I forgot what team he's on now. Bryce Harper's available. Interesting. Be cool to bring him in. He was on the last year of his deal. Here's Bo Bichette. He's gone like hitless since I last looked at his stats. It's funny. But yeah, I think he'd be a decent upgrade. What do we have? What else do we have in the minors? So we have Hawley, who I still have faith in, but I don't know. Coy James at second, Trey Snyder at second. Like, are these guys really blowing me away? We have Cordero, who can maybe fake it at second. I don't know if I want him doing that. Yeah, like Blevins. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to I think we're gonna be forced to make a move here if these guys can't hit. I'm gonna give it a couple days. We'll go back to the 31st, and then I'll trade. Yeah, traders cannot hit here. Did we get swept by Washington? Ouch, that hurts. This is a completely different team without Cunningham here. I will tell you that. Even though it hasn't really been the offense's fault necessarily, but. All right, we're here July 29th now, and Wyatt Langford, 3 home runs. Or 3 hits, sorry. Not 3 home runs. We're still a very good team. Like, this is not like panic mode where like I'm freaking out that we're not gonna make the playoffs or something. Like, this is all relative, obviously, but Carlos Hernandez, no thank you. So the deadline's tomorrow. Snyder has been on a decent run. Coy James has really fallen off, though. And JD Hawley, yeah, okay. So we're going to have to make a trade here. It doesn't have to be Bo Bichette, but he just looked like the most well-rounded second baseman we can get our hands on. Tommy Edman's actually quite interesting. I think his bat would play well. He's a good leader, good work ethic. They don't want anything for him. I like this. I think I like this a little bit more. And he's a switch hitter, I believe. Yeah. Doesn't make a ton of money, so that's cool with me. We'll give him a something prospect just so I don't feel so cheesy about it. Maybe some kind of like, I don't know. I'd rather give him a hitting prospect. Maybe Cody Schreier? I mean, he was once like a pretty decent player. Has hit well in 2 levels in the minors, but he's fallen out of favor with me, obviously. So yeah, let's do this. Tommy Edman, can we get him to retain any of this deal? Okay. So they really want Cody Schreier. All right, so we'll do that trade. And Tommy Edman will be our new starting second baseman, since these 3 guys could not cut it. I'd rather give, I don't know, Coy James has been fine. But I think I'd rather give Hawley a shot. So we need a backup infielder here. I actually think Snyder will be better as a backup infielder, as a utility guy, and then. So do I want Coy James or do I want JD Hawley playing second for me? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna send down Coy James. I'm gonna give Hawley a shot here as our utility guy for the moment. Um, he'll still play quite a bit. I think maybe every seventh there, and then we'll mix him in a short a little bit, get him some at bats. But yeah, I like this. I like that trade a lot. Edmund, better defender probably than Bobichat, and I think overall that'll work out better. So I don't think we have any other moves to make really. The bullpen looks good. It maybe have a few too many lefties in here, but Garcia is more of like a long reliever type, where he can give us a couple innings here, and then Ryan Walt's more kind of the same mold, but I think this team looks pretty good. I don't want to make any more trades. I don't want to completely overhaul this team because we are still a very good squad. So that'll wrap up here, episode 23. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back next episode with some playoffs and hopefully repeat as world champions. So yeah, we'll see you there. Bye.